I also can't blame anybody who says, I don't necessarily trust this coaching staff to develop a quarterback or to evaluate the quarterback position. They've made some really oddball decisions at this position over the last several years, and I don't blame anybody for questioning, do these guys actually know what they're doing?
Picture this scenario. Cleveland thought they'd finally struck gold with their quarterback of the future, but instead, they got abandoned faster than someone who never responds after matching online. Kevin Stefanski is reportedly having a complete meltdown after Shedeur Sanders walked away from Cleveland like the franchise was just some temporary stop he never planned on staying at. This isn't your standard personnel shakeup. We're talking full-blown drama with more unexpected turns than a celebrity family's reality show finale. What really went down behind closed doors? Why did Shedeur decide to leave? And why is Stefanski acting like someone just canceled his entire season pass? Let's break down this mess. For years now, the Cleveland Browns have been stuck in this vicious cycle of quarterback disappointment. They've churned through signal callers like someone frantically trying to catch falling plates at a packed restaurant. One mistake and crash. Another season goes up in flames. Every autumn rolls around and there's a fresh name getting slapped on that same cursed uniform. It's become a walking tribute to every supposed franchise rescuer who ended up crashing spectacularly. This situation has gone way beyond just locker room issues at this point. The pattern keeps repeating itself. New hope arrives, everyone gets excited, then reality hits hard and the whole thing collapses. Cleveland fans have witnessed this nightmare play out so many times they could write the script themselves. Each quarterback comes in promising to be different, to be the one who finally breaks the curse, but the ending stays the same. Now, with Shedeur Sanders walking away, it's just another chapter in Cleveland's ongoing quarterback tragedy.
Obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better.
It's a cemetery of failed expectations, wild throws, and game days that felt like torture. Fans were starving for something special, and briefly, it seemed like they had it, until it disappeared quicker than free drinks before kickoff. Enter Shedeur Sanders, the prize prospect, the flashy savior, the quarterback with genuine confidence and a legendary surname. This wasn't some nobody drafted in the late rounds. This was football royalty. The son of Deion primetime Sanders, Shedeur wasn't just showing up with talent, he was bringing an entirely different energy, swagger, excitement, and hope that Cleveland might finally escape being the league's biggest joke.
I just watched what happened to Shedeur Sanders in the Cleveland Browns' third and final preseason game. And I'm outraged, I'm sickened, and I'm saddened. By the way, Shedeur continues to be treated in the National Football League, now by those sorry-ass Browns and sorry-ass Kevin Stefanski.
But as quickly as he showed up, he disappeared. No emotional farewell, no press conference, not even a simple thank you. Shedeur Sanders just evaporated. One moment he's there, the next he's bouncing from Cleveland like a terrible restaurant date who leaves before the food arrives. Stefanski stuck there looking at his untouched appetizers, trying to figure out how things collapse so fast. It's insane, it's chaotic, and it's classic Cleveland drama. And somehow, this story's only beginning. Kevin Stefanski absolutely lost it. Not even remotely close to handling it well. When you're coaching in Cleveland, every year ages you a decade, and your worry lines develop their own worry lines. And when the one quarterback you thought could rescue your career suddenly bolts, you don't just stay calm and drink your morning brew. You detonate. Stefanski's response wasn't the composed, professional moment the PR department wanted. Not at all. This was the type of breakdown that makes a kid's grocery store meltdown look peaceful. Rumor has it Stefanski was completely fixated on Shedeur. He probably fantasized about future offensive schemes, sketched plays on random scraps of paper, possibly even built his entire strategy around him. Then reality hit, like a crushing defensive blow straight to his pride. The guy went from championship dreams to total catastrophe in hours, and you could practically feel the franchise's curse cackling from above. Cleveland's bad luck is thriving. This is the same organization that once ignored both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in one draft, passed on future superstars like someone trading valuable assets for garbage.
He's a rookie. He's going to learn. Now, you can't make those plays that you did in college. You can't take those sacks. As Fitz and Witt always inform me and educate me, because I'm a defensive player. So I'm not thinking about the way a quarterback is maneuvering to make sure he's not throwing incompletions, or how the sacks that they're taking is affecting the offensive line but not affecting his QBR and completion percentage, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to have to get over that. And I think he's trying to make sure the numbers look like they're supposed to look like. But this is the National Football League. Let the ball go. Live to fight another down. Save the yards.
They've transformed potential legends into running gags and quarterbacks into comedy material. Johnny Manziel didn't become the savior, he became tabloid fodder. It's like every time Cleveland approaches success, they stumble at the entrance, crash hard, and hurt themselves on the way down. So when Stefanski got that news, when he learned Shedeur was leaving, he wasn't just angry, he was devastated. Picture spending months constructing your perfect home piece by piece, decorating every room, arranging everything perfectly for a disaster to destroy it right before moving day. That's Stefanski now, standing in the wreckage of his plans, watching the Cleveland curse strike again, more brutal and vicious than before. That's the Brown story in one agonizing line. They construct, they promote, they believe, and then disaster destroys everything like an unstoppable force. Every time it seems they've discovered their answer, the curse resurfaces and demolishes it all. Now the massive question everyone's asking is obvious. Why would Shedeur Sanders abandon Cleveland? The franchise was prepared to give him everything: a guaranteed starting role, fans starving for someone to believe in, and attention unlike anything he'd seen before. That level of devotion is rare. Cleveland's faithful would have celebrated Shedeur like royalty if he'd given them even the smallest reason for optimism.
They view him as a franchise builder, a franchise starter. And I'm gonna admit something on TV that you probably shouldn't. I'm rooting for Shedeur Sanders. I wanted to turn the film on and be able to come on First Take, be on Get Up, and be on NFL Live and pound the table that he has been done wrong. Pound the table that he deserves to be the week 1 starter. He deserves to be the 2 on the depth chart.
But every player entering that facility understands the ending. You arrive fired up and exit questioning where your drive disappeared. Cleveland doesn't just challenge your abilities. It crushes your confidence and makes you doubt everything you once knew about yourself. If Shedeur wants a lasting Hall of Fame career, Cleveland might be the worst gamble imaginable. Look at Baker Mayfield. He went from college superstar to journeyman faster than discarded exercise equipment switching hands. Look at Deshaun Watson. He secured a deal worth astronomical money only to perform like he'd forgotten the basics of the position. That's not coincidence. That's a curse embedded in the organization's foundation. And Shedeur isn't naive. He's witnessed this pattern repeatedly and knows the conclusion. Cleveland destroys quarterbacks and discards them before celebrations even begin. So rather than becoming another tragic entry on that list, he made a strategic decision, seizing control of his future. He's safeguarding his reputation, developing his profile, and keeping his career far from Cleveland's dysfunction. This isn't abandonment, it's self-preservation. Shedeur isn't just playing the sport, he's strategizing for the future. His father, Deion, taught him that from the beginning. The competition extends beyond scoring. It's about influence, perception, and strategic positioning. Every decision Shedeur makes today isn't just about the immediate future, it's about his entire career trajectory. And if there's one thing he won't do, it's attach his reputation to an organization that consistently destroys its own talent. That's not building a legacy, that's accepting disaster. This goes beyond misfortune. It's a complete horror story written in Cleveland's colors. And this time, the consequences aren't just Stefanski's personal breakdown, it's the entire fan base erupting simultaneously. These supporters have endured endless disappointment. It's practically inherited. Believing in Cleveland isn't just risky, it's essentially foolish. So when the one quarterback who actually brought excitement to town decides he's finished, it doesn't register as a mere letdown anymore. It feels like a vicious joke from the football universe itself. You can already envision it. Cleveland fans online creating graphics, inserting Shedeur's image into that infamous Browns quarterback jersey collection.
Sometime this week, or he is going to be on the practice squad. Hopefully they let him go and he can go to a team that actually wants him. But yeah, with today's performance, being sacked 4 times, not getting no snaps with the starters or the second string, it has become apparent that they love Dylan Gabriel.
Positioned right alongside Brady Quinn and Tim Kutch, another shattered hope in an endless parade of football failures. That uniform isn't merely history, it's a danger sign for anyone daring enough to believe they can beat Cleveland's Hex. But here's where things get crazy. Shedeur's departure isn't just damaging to the Browns, it's sending shockwaves throughout the entire league. Other organizations are observing, making mental notes, and questioning if an elite quarterback prospect refuses Cleveland, what does that reveal about the franchise? It's devastating. Like discovering your top-rated dining establishment has a head chef who won't touch their own cuisine. If Shedeur Sanders, a rising talent with lineage, swagger, and choices, turns them down, what quarterback with any sense would accept? For Cleveland, this transcends simple personnel problems. It's a full-scale organizational emergency. How do you reconstruct when nobody wants to participate in the reconstruction? They might as well post a giant sign outside the facility reading, "Seeking quarterbacks with absolutely no survival instincts." Because honestly, that's the only type willing to sign on. And the final blow? Kevin Stefanski, the coach famous for staying composed, methodical, and emotionless during games, finally broke.
There was no way that you looked at Shedeur and would think that he was a 5th-round pick. So there has to have been something else that they were looking at and viewing. You look at that tape, that kid was a 1st-round pick. It didn't show the NFL that they were racist, but it did show the NFL still has the hammer. Now his contract is marginalized. He's a 5th-round pick. They can sign him, and now you're stuck. Regardless if you're a legacy, regardless if your father, your brother, it could only be the interview process. It couldn't be the tape. And as you could see against Carolina, he is a quality 100%. NFL quarterback. And eventually, he'll be an NFL starting quarterback.
100%.
The coach who remained stone-faced through losing seasons, media firestorms, and internal drama finally reached his limit. The accounts describe a shocking scene. One second, he's the quiet tactician. The next, he's erupting like a parent discovering their kid totaled the vehicle. It's the quintessential Cleveland explosion, madness, absurdity, and tragedy compressed into one volatile moment. This breakdown wasn't simply about losing a signal caller. It was about losing the signal caller. Stefanski's employment has been dangling by such a fragile thread that any disturbance could sever it completely. The organization promised fans championship aspirations while secretly delivering the identical wait until next season letdown. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just another roster addition. He represented Stefanski's final opportunity for salvation, his escape route from professional limbo. Losing him wasn't a personnel adjustment. It was a complete career catastrophe happening live. Imagine it, Stefanski roaming the training complex like a specter, gripping his playbook like it's his journal, muttering about the flawless scheme that'll never materialize. He spent countless restless nights sketching formations. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson.
Sanders is going to be bigger than Tim Tebow in terms of how people perceive his star. He will out Tebow because whatever his deficiencies are as a talent, there is no denying he's a star. He will be the greatest NFL draft story ever told. His entire story, from Jackson State to Colorado to slipping, whatever you want to call it, falling, slipping, getting pushed, blackballed, sent a message to the 5th round. He had the highest rated preseason game. He had 2 million viewers.
That situation still looms over the franchise like storm clouds refusing to clear. Cleveland dumped truckloads of cash on him, invested a historic pile of guaranteed dollars, and shackled the organization to that choice like dead weight. But honestly, the payoff has been rough. Any young quarterback considering that situation knows exactly what they're entering. Not just competition for the starting role, but a political nightmare. You're not simply competing for playing time. You're battling against a contract so massive, the executives can't even acknowledge it might have been an error. That's not an opportunity. That's a snare wrapped in team branding. So Shedeur made the decision everyone privately wished they could make in that position.
Young quarterback's going to learn. He played really well in his first start, had a rough outing in his second start. It's football. Unfortunately, we won't get to see him again unless something drastic happens until next year. That's the life of a backup quarterback in the National Football League. There are only 32 starters at the position, and he's behind multiple guys. Joe Flacco stays relatively healthy, and he's playing really good football. He's a good quarterback.
He left, and by doing that, he didn't just safeguard his future. He transformed Cleveland into the league's laughingstock all over again. Across the NFL, players, representatives, commentators, everyone's agreeing like, yeah, makes sense. It's basically common knowledge at this point. If you want to destroy your career before it begins, choose Cleveland. But if you want to preserve your mental health and your standing, keep your distance. These suffering supporters have endured more emotional damage than a drama series character who has perished and returned multiple times. Every year, they receive just enough optimism to trust again, and every year, it gets ripped away like the classic cartoon gag.
I think he'll be either on the practice squad or cut, to be honest. That's really my feeling because the actions of the Browns don't feel like, wow, we got lucky, we grabbed somebody who has talent. Tom Brady is his mentor. Tom Brady is with the Raiders. He has influence. They have plenty of picks to pick Shedeur. I know that they have Gino's Pizza there as well. He's not the long-term quarterback, right? And if you really believe Tom Brady's work with him,
Shedeur's exit is just another crushing blow in an endless series of them, and Cleveland supporters felt it to their core. Meanwhile, Stefanski and the front office are left empty-handed once more. You know they'll attempt to reframe it somehow. That rejection stings worse than any postseason elimination because it validates what Cleveland's been denying for generations. Now, Stefanski's career is hanging by the thinnest thread, more like a fragile string suspended over a chasm. Cleveland's scrambling is an absolute chaos, like the final appetizer fell at a championship gathering and everyone's lunging for it simultaneously. The narrative practically creates itself. Shedeur Sanders just demonstrated something. He's not joining Cleveland's curse, he's outmaneuvering it. If you liked the video, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and pass this along if you're digging the analysis.